Okay. I want to hear who got 100% this week. Well, actually, I only posted on Tuesday. So if you did it Tuesday and Tuesday, raise your hand. And I'm going to write down your name. So we got Maiken, Tiari, Jess, Claudia. Anyone else I'm missing? Yell out your name.
Corinne.
Becca. Oh, Corinne.
Becca did, yes.
You said if we didn't do it one day, we could make up still, right? Even if it was, okay, so I made up for all yesterday.
Awesome. Wow. Good job, Jess. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Corinne, Becca, Claudia, Jess, Tiari, Maiken, right? Okay, and I just have you written in a row, random number generator, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 through 6, generate, and the winner is number 1, which is Maiken, is our winner today.
Woohoo! Yay, Maiken!
All right, so I thought it would be fun to hear from the winners, from Tiari and Maiken today. See, you have to earn your $25. You have to tell us how it's been going, and I want to hear. Let's start with Tiari first, since she won last week. Congrats! By the way, that was an amazing call last week. See, you see why I have Wendy do this? Because she's the master, and I tell you, I learned these things from her, and it was just incredible. I rewatched that, and I was like, it's so hard not to be there. When you're listening. I don't know, any of you guys watching the playback right now, kudos to you, because it's hard for me not to say something because I just feel so connected to you guys. So, but it was incredible. I had so many takeaways. I took tons of notes, and I loved, actually, I'll tell you a few of my takeaways from last week, just while we're on the topic about, I loved how, I think it was Wendy, it may have been somebody else, but I love the verbiage. You know how we always are worried about what to say, like what questions to ask. And we always say, oh, it'll come in the conversation, right? Sometimes they don't come though. So it's good to have a few fallback questions that you can just kind of get started. And I love this. What is the thing that will help you overcome this hurdle? I just love that. I wrote that down, and I'm going to write that on my board or something, because I really want to have that to where just fall back, because oftentimes, as we talked about last week, we don't know the next step for them, or we're kind of confused when they're talking, but just to ask them, what do you need? What do you need help with in overcoming this hurdle? And then what will help you the most? The most simple but best question in the world to ask somebody, because they know. And then another thought about this was this whole listening thing. I seriously think we could focus on this every single Zoom for the next year, and it still would not be enough, because I feel like the more and more we learn about this, the more and more you realize how much you have to work on it. Because as much as I've been working on this, even in conversations with other people, I'll catch myself. I'm definitely not perfect in this. And so it's just being aware and knowing that, just trying to change and trying to get better. But also I do feel like this skill, this listening skill, and we're going to address this a lot, for this group. But this is what I think we all need in becoming FIBC. If I had to pinpoint what it is, what's going to get you there, it would be this one skill. And I have to be honest with you, some of you that may be struggling, I see that this is what's holding us back. This is the thing. If you're wondering, what is it that's holding me back? To be honest, this is it, right? Jess, what are you saying? Me? You can come off mute.
Yeah, I'm totally saying that that's me. When I went and I spoke with a doctor the other day and sat with him in between patients for an hour and a half. So it wasn't a full hour and a half. It's probably ended up really being 30 minutes. I kept thinking I had something to say to whatever he was saying. I was thinking ahead. And I was like, oh, I'm doing it again. And so then I was thinking, oh, I'm doing that. I'm not really listening. So then I wasn't listening to him. And yeah, I got to work on that for sure.
Love that. Love that. It's so true when we get caught in that I gotta convince them mode. Like they have to know. Like, does that ever work?
No.
Never
No,
does.
doctors know everything.
Especially with the doctor. And so I love that you kind of caught yourself and you just said, okay, I'm just going to listen. And I know that ended up going a lot better because you listened. And Lamira, I love what you just said. You're trying hard not to need to be right or prove to yourself that you know. And I will often, when I have that feeling of like, oh, I gotta talk, I step back and say, is this about me or is it about them? Do they really need to know this, or is this about me trying to be right or trying to prove to myself how good I am or whatever? You know, it's just like a pride thing for me. It's most often it's about me. They don't really need to know my story. So, but if it is, sometimes it is, maybe they really do need to know and it would help. And there's a right time for that. Not meaning that we're just sitting there like mute all the time, can't ever express ourselves. No, you know, there's a time and a place for that. Okay. Oh, and Lori, congratulations on the 100%. Good job. I already did the drawing at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Wait, sorry. Oh, you're on. Yeah, we did it right at 9:01.
Oh, all right. Awesome. I was walking in groceries and I looked at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 9:03.
Oh, well, you look beautiful. I like your lipstick. Rocking that today.
Okay. So I just posted this. I was at Maverick and a guy, well, and I know we need to get on with this. The guy checking me out said that I have Vulcan or Elvish ears.
What?
Whoa. Yeah. He wanted to pay me a compliment, and that was it.
Wow. So I bet you're feeling really good about yourself today.
I am so excited that I'm a fictional character with pointy ears.
So, did you ask him if he's a Trekkie?
He totally is. I didn't even need to ask.
You know, he looks at ears.
Yeah. So if I won the drawing and I have Elvish ears, my day is set.
Awesome. Yep, he's totally checking you out. Ears are his thing. I never notice people's ears.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good. Okay. So let's hear from Maiken, and let's start with Tiari, since I kind of warned her last week. I want to hear, tell me, Tiari, and tell me, Maiken, what has, with this 3-3-3-1, what have you discovered that this has done for your business? Have you noticed? I'm going to mute some of you. Sorry.
She's here.
Noise, just mute yourself.
Yeah. I guess she thought I was going to come get her. Oh. But she told me she was going to come get her.
There we go. Okay, unmute yourself when you're ready to talk. All right, let's start with Terry. Go, girl.
Yeah, this 3-3-3-1 is like flipping magical because I've discovered that I am connecting more genuinely. I don't feel pressured to like ask questions to lead to one thing or another. It's just more, it comes from a place of love. I'm reaching out to people that I haven't been able to contact for a very long time. So that's been awesome. One thing that's kind of interesting that I thought of this morning is that I've had 5 past clients, jump back in. 5.
Wow.
Within like the last month. And so don't close the door on them. They're kind of waiting for the right moment. And I think these listening skills have helped me a lot because in talking to them, I just say, okay, what is it that you need? How do you think you can achieve that? What would you like me to do to help you? Those types of things I bring up in those conversations, and it's just very genuine. And they're they're getting back on program, which it's so exciting. You're right, Lamira. It's like the universe feels like my desire to help more people, and it kind of lines up people who are ready and says, okay, here you go. Okay, hold on. Sorry. So that's one thing that I've discovered is that more people have reactivated, which is surprising, really surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another thing that I've really loved about the 3-2-3-1 is it gives me structure without pressure. And so I feel like I've always been resistant to structure. For whatever reason, I've always been resistant enough structure that it helps me stay focused in the moments that I really need to stay focused. I've got little kids like this little one right here. Say hi. And she's like, I'm shy now. Anyway, and so they're down for naps and I have a very short amount of time. And so it really helps me focus my attention to the things that are most important. And
Hi, see.
and helping me see that it's like it's something that's doable. And my interactions with people in general are more genuine. They just are. And so I've actually thought of adding more people to my coaching list. And I'm excited for our event up here in Davis County on the 14th. And I have a whole bunch of people I'm inviting to come to this and join with me because, frankly, I don't care anymore. I don't care if they don't want it. I don't care if they like it. I don't care if this is something that they really want, but I figure if it's done this much for me, it's got to do something for them. And I think just refocusing using that 3-3-1, it's really helped me just focus in on what's important to me, why I'm doing this, and just do it in like a really good laser focus time.
Awesome, Terry. Okay, you won your $25. You earned it. I love that. How many of you have gotten to that point sometimes where you feel like, Terry, like, I just don't even care anymore. Like, I feel like I have spent, raise your hand. I want to see if you felt that before sometime. I feel like when, all of us here have been coaches for a while. And sometimes I feel like when you're a beginning coach, even talking to like a new coach, you totally remember what that was like to worry about, oh, they're going to think they're fat. They're going to, all these like little concepts. And it's funny that everyone in this group, I would say, when you've been a coach for a while, you literally just get over that stuff. You're literally like, I don't care anymore. I'm just inviting. You realize what a great offering and you realize what this can do to people, that it's literally not even on your radar anymore. And if it is a little bit, it's cool to see that progression because I feel like that just comes with time of being a health coach. When you have those clients calling in and crying to you, you're like, well, sorry guys, the people that are naysayers, you don't see what's going on, the good that's going on. So they just don't understand. So I love that you just kind of gone over that. And then you said something really good, structure without pressure. That's cool. Lori and I had a call this week with one of her clients. And I thought it was so interesting. She was just whining about how the 5-in-1 was not working, right? Lori, and about how she wanted her wine and she hates it when people tell her what to do and that, this 5-in-1 thing is way too restricting. And you know what we did? We just said, okay, what do you want to do? And all of a sudden, like Lori said, like her whole countenance changed, didn't Lori?
Yeah. Oh, totally. She was much lighter.
Yeah.
Because it was her choice.
Yeah. And we literally had her get out a piece of paper and we said, okay, right at the bottom, how are you feeling right now? Draw an arrow to the top. Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? And then you fill in. We're not telling you anything. Like literally, like we didn't say anything. We said, what are you going to do to get there? And she came up with her own ideas. She wants to drink wine twice a week. She's going to, limit herself to twice a week or a couple times a week. And we're like, great, awesome. I'm so excited for you, and she loves the 5-in-1. She was whining about the 5-in-1, but then when it was like her own idea, she's like, I love the 5-in-1. It's like amazing. So it was like, okay, like it's her own idea. How many times do we do that with our business? Like, I don't know if you're the type of person that hates being told what to do, but do we sometimes maybe get on trainings or talk to our mentor coach or I don't know, even pressure on ourselves. And we say to ourselves, oh, all of a sudden I don't want to do anymore because everyone's making me do this. Or maybe you have like pressure from a spouse or whatever it is. How many times do we make ourselves not want to do it because we were just told to do it because that's the structure? And so I love that the 3-3-1, you feel like that Tiari is what gives you that no pressure because you get to decide. So if you're feeling that way, I have a challenge for you today. Only do stuff that's fun for you with coaching. Jess, tell them what happened this week. You got to tell them this one.
So that Lamira that was why I was crying, because Chantel and I had been on, and I was just really struggling. And I was having a hard time doing the event. I did not want to do it because in my mind, every single party that I've ever had, no one has come. And so I said to Chantel, the only people who are going to come is my husband and you. So if I can get 2 people there, I'm going to be happy. And I did have one other party where there were 2 people who came, but not even my family, like nobody really supports me. And so I was getting into this big boo-hoo, nobody cares about me, crying, blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to do the program. I was seriously throwing a tantrum, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
And so, I mean, but then yesterday I got to work. And that's where the magic lies. I said, and it's only because of coaching that I got here. I had the thought, what if I only worked 1 hour today? What if I just worked 1 hour and it wasn't as stressful? I think I could get a lot done in 1 hour. And then I ended up working 3 hours because I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying it all over again. And I decided I might cancel my event. So I hope all of you guys aren't upset with me. Great.
No.
If all of you guys can do that, but it is so much pressure for me that I am on that webinar last night. One of the coaches said that she's in counseling. I'm in counseling too. And she also said that she has a big, huge thing about what other people think about her. That's me. It was like me to a T. I have a big thing about what my family thinks about me. And I have to figure out how to get over that one of these days. So it's interesting how my confidence level is like this sometimes. You know, that's just how it is. So I am the same as everybody else. I have problems just like that other coach. I have things that are really difficult going on in my life right now. And some days I don't want to coach. Some days I actually just want to lay in my bed and not even get up. But because of my kids, I have to get up. So.
Absolutely.
But if I just work 1 hour, you know, and then I ended up getting back into the swing of things and my attitude changed. And because I was kind of in a blame state and I wasn't happy. I wasn't feeling good. But now, bang, I'm back on track, wanting to be a coach all over again.
Yeah, I love it. Jess, I love how you've had some moments like that. We've all thrown tantrums, right? But I love what I admire about Jess is she gets back up really fast, actually. She's not down for long. And I just think that she's a fighter. And that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, right? It's just sometimes you get back up. And that's you. That's you to a T. So thank you for sharing that, first of all, because I think a lot of people can relate in this group, especially. And I just love how you focused on what you want to do. Because when we were doing this mentor session, Jess kept bringing up this event. I'm like, why are we doing the event then? Like, coaching is supposed to be fun. Like, I don't even understand why we're doing the event. She's like, because we're supposed to in the group. I'm like, no. Okay, stop. No, we're not supposed to do anything. These suggestions in this group are just to help, ideas for you. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Because this is not a job. Like, if I were your boss, I'd make you do it, but I'm not your boss. I could be your mentor coach, which is the sweetest job ever. So I want you, when you're making these action steps, when you're doing these things, ultimately, the bottom line is, if you want to do it, you keep it fun. Okay? Ditch it, delegate it, or do it differently, right? Isn't that from the Habits book? So, okay, thank you for sharing, Jess.
You're welcome.
Anything else to say about that? I didn't want to cut anyone off if you have something to say about that. Okay, everyone loves you, Jess. Okay, let's go to Maiken. Beautiful Maiken, tell us kind of what this has done for you.
Hi
Hi guys. I always get so nervous when I have to talk. I like to listen. I don't like to talk.
That's why we have you talk.
Yeah. I really agree with what Jess said. Like, I think that is so cool how she said the other day, if you only have 1 hour to work, well, you work. Because honestly, like some days, she's making me emotional. Like when you guys cry, it makes me emotional. Some days I only have 1 hour. That's all I have. Before school and all those things, I usually have about 2.5, but there have been some days this week where I'm literally like, I have an hour. That's all I have. And Tiari, I love what she said, because the 3, 3, 3, 3, and 1, I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do, in that 1 hour. And then it's funny, have you guys felt like after you do that, even if it's just the only thing that you do, you're like, okay, I feel like I did something productive with coaching today, even if like my whole rest of my day was taken by other things. I can say like, I don't have to feel guilty inside for one thing. Like I'm the type of person that'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do that. I'm in trouble. Like,
you're a rule follower. Yep, you are.
Oh gosh, I didn't do my 3, 3, and 1.
Uh-huh.
3, 3, and 1. So I love how she said that, because sometimes, like, if that's all you have, then do your best. You don't have to beat yourself up because you didn't do 2 or 3 or 4, however many hours of coaching. So that was cool. But I feel like mostly, honestly, being totally transparent, it hasn't necessarily gotten me a ton of clients, but I've noticed that it's, like Terry said, build my friend base, and I have a lot of friends, but being genuine and honestly not looking to like, I'm a coach, do you want to coach with me, or you need to do this program, not even trying to like find a place to stick that in, and just asking them about their lives and then remembering what's going on. So if I see them in a public place, or I see them on the street or at school, or if they're a parent that I see, like just showing that I'm genuinely interested in their lives. And I've noticed that crossing paths between coaching and school has been a lot easier. People have approached me, teachers that I work with, and asked me what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I've been doing this for 3 years and you've never really shown any interest, even though you've asked, you know what I do. They've like approached me. And I honestly think maybe that's a safety issue. They feel safe enough to say, hey, what's this you're doing? Or what's this ninja thing? Or tell me about this event or whatever, So I feel like people have been more comfortable to come and ask versus me always going talking to people, which is kind of neat. But overall, that's really what I've seen, is generating more genuine, more concrete friendships instead of just being on that one level of like, hey, we kind of know each other, but we don't really. Generating those deeper friendships with people, I think, is what it's really done for me.
Okay, both of you, TRE, you both have said that it makes you feel more genuine, which I think is super fascinating, because someone may think like, oh, it's a numbers thing, that seems like it's just, you're checking off the box, trying to get a friend type thing. But isn't it interesting that all it does is it makes us more intentional, and it gives us a reason or more of a push to not just wave at the grocery store or just,
right,
read people's stuff on Facebook, but actually interact with them, gives us that push to actually create that friendship. How cool is that? Like, I always say that our job as a health coach is just making friends, and it really is. Like, and then that's when those magical moments of, you don't even bring it up, they're bringing it up with you all of a sudden. That's when that starts happening all the time. So I feel like that really is, that's the biggest, that's how you get clients. Hello? Like, doesn't everyone, like, as a new client or a new coach coming into this business, how do you get clients? It's like the biggest question. That's how you get clients. This is what we're doing right here. So cool, Maiken. Thank you. And so cool that you fit this in, because Maiken is one of the busiest people I know. Like, I know her schedule. And she does not, like, she is not a time waster. She gets in everything important. Like, I'm just so impressed with how she's able to fit this in. I didn't even bring up coaching for a long time with her because I was like, she literally does not have time to do this. But look what she's done. She does have time. She makes an hour, and that's enough. That's enough to get it going. And sometimes it does turn into longer. We make more time for it, like Jess said, because we're excited about it. But that's awesome. Okay, love that. All right, anything else to add?
Hey, I was just going to say the listening thing is like amazing.
You loving it?
I feel like I am a good listener. Like I wrote 30/70 on mine that I listen, but this week I've been saying to my clients and my coaches, what's the biggest celebration that you've had this week, even if it's not with your health? Because some of them on my client calls would be like, I totally failed this week, or I did really bad. And I said, okay, well, what is something that went really well this week? And then I think Wendy said something last week about what is your focus going into this week? It doesn't have to be all the healthy habits. What's one thing that you want to focus on? And they just like totally unveil everything they're going to do. And then I say, is there any steps that you need to take in order to make that happen? It made me think of Amy when you were like having her put out her schedule, and then they'd like list the steps that they were going to do. And it's just been cool to see that happen.
Okay, I love that. That goes along with the questions that my takeaways from last week from Wendy. What is the thing that will help you overcome this hurdle? But what steps do you need to take in order to make that happen? That's a good one. Okay, I got to write it down. Okay, cool. And Amy, I have to comment on your experience with Connor last week. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so awesome. And what I loved about that is that it came back to you the next day and wanted more. That tells you right there that that's working. Do you agree?
I totally agree. Yeah, and he knew it was just an exercise.
Yeah,
it helped him.
But he liked it, even though he knew it was an exercise.
So very interesting. And he actually, just this week he's got his life figured out. He's so much happier. So,
that is so cool to me that you practice that.
And I have something to share. Like Micah was saying, I just have an hour. And, we all say, well, most of us know we're doing the Lord's work. And so I heard something, I can't remember, I've shared this with a few people, have no idea where my source is, but I was listening to a speaker and they were talking about the loaves and the fishes when Jesus was giving that out to the people. And his disciples could only bring him 5 to feed thousands. So the Lord will make those 1 hours, he can turn those into miracles. He doesn't need 5. He doesn't need 2. He just needs your best. Whatever you have to give, he can turn it into a miracle. And when Micah was saying that, I really related that, not just with, my church stuff, but with this work.
Okay. Yeah. Should we end? That was amazing. That was like, yeah, I think that is so beautiful. That is exactly like, let's keep that in mind this week. You know what? I'm going to put that as a reminder on the top, loaves and the fishes. Because that's really all that we can do. So thank you for sharing. That needed to be said. Okay, you guys, we are out of time. I need to give you your homework. You ready for the best part? No, Amy's part was the best part. This is the second best part because we're going to get into action here. Okay, I've got some fun steps this week. Obviously, it's 3, 3, 3, and 1 again. Let's just kill that this week. Second, I want to encourage everyone to watch one of the webinars from Dougwood. Have you guys, everyone, raise your hand or talk right now if you have not seen what that is. Sorry. You guys thought I was going to ask something else. Okay, raise your hand if you've already been on one. Okay, so tons of you. Cool. Okay, how about the challenge is watch one more. So if you've already watched one, that's great. So focus on one more this week. because I have heard raving reviews about these. I actually have not been able to make it on one, but I am so excited to get on one because how cool is that? And if you want to get on all of them, yeah, cool. You can brag about it at next week's Zoom because we want to hear. So that's number 2. Number 3 is work on completing your 100 coach potentials. I thought we were going to go over that this week, but it didn't quite fit in what I was going for. So I really want to focus on that next week. So make sure, have that done. Okay. Raise your hand if you've already completed that 100s list. Okay. So about half of you. Cool. Let's for sure like get those down, and I'm going to add a little something to that. Star your top 10. Okay. Star top 10. And then the 1, 2, 3rd or 4th thing, whatever, and I'll write these all down on the pin post at the top, is to complete your map for September. You guys, September is here. September is notoriously known as an amazing month. It just is. Something happens in September. I think it's like kids going back to school or something, where we're excited. Yeah, Jess, good job, girl. But there's something that happens, and so I want us to be prepared. This is kind of like this is the season that what is it called? Can't even think of it. Like where your crops come up. Not your planting season, but your what? Harvest season. Hello. Thank you. Harvest season, where you this really is. September is one of those harvest seasons. So I want us to be prepared and be ready for it, because what is all that planting if we're just going to leave those tomatoes on the vine and just rot away, right? We got to pluck them off. We do still have to do work. It doesn't just come to us. We still have to do that work. Oftentimes it's being there at the right moment, talking to somebody when they're ready, but they've been watching us. Okay. So September, let's really, send it to your mentor. And do you guys mind posting them in the group? What do you guys think about that? Post it in the group. And
posting the maps?
Yeah, post your map in the group. Post map. Okay, you guys good to go on those? Any questions on the action steps this week? Okay.
No, but I wanted to say one thing. Sorry.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, Mike, and all those people, this is kind of relative to what Chantel has been saying. All those people who've been coming to you, right? You've planted all these seeds, so maybe they're part of your harvest, because they've actually come to you. And I think that's pretty amazing. Like, that's cool that people are coming to you. So I hope you're going to follow up with all of them and be like, hey, hop on the webinar tonight. It's about coaching and awesome stuff. They said last night, he said, let's see, what was his name? Dan Valentine said it's going to be about financial freedom. It's for single parents, entrepreneurs, working moms. And then if they say no, or they're kind of tentative, you ask the question, what if this is the one thing that would help you get out of debt and reach your dreams?
Wow.
I was like, I'm totally going to say that.
Wow. Okay, so that's Doug Wood's webinar tonight.
Yes.
And what time is it at, Jess?
It's the same time as everything else. So I think 7, right?
7 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you took your
7 Mountain.
What if you took your coach potential list, your 100s coach potential list, and what if you pick 10 that you feel like are ready for this? Now, I don't recommend starring your top 10 and just sending this to them, because sometimes it's not right. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do a layer here and there. But what if you did pick 10 just for tonight? What if we did that like right when we got off the call? Just pick 10 that you feel like are ready for this right now, that you've dripped on in the past, that kind of in that stage of like, I want to do coaching, but I don't know. Probably people that have heard something about it before. What if we all just did that right now? I could almost guarantee you that we would have 10 new coaches on our team, at least, just if we did that. 10 new people that got out of financial, that got out of debt, or what, this is the one thing for them. So you guys in? You guys want to do that?
Hey, is there a spot where we can find the link and all of that so that we can send that information to them?
Yep, I'll post it. Post it right now. Okay. I just thought of that. Let's do it. That's just a challenge for you guys on here. That's the benefits that you guys get from being on here, because I'm not gonna put that as a homework. Okay. Love you all. Have such an amazing week. And you guys are beautiful. I love seeing all you. Okay, we'll see ya.